Hi, I'm Lisa Higgins, and I'll be doing my project for Psychological Foundations over modeling and observational learning. Bandura says that modeling is the imitation of others' behaviors. Bandura believed that we are not shaped by consequences, but we effectively learn from the other model. Hi, I'm Lisa Higgins, and I'm doing my project for Psychological Foundations over modeling and observational learning. According to Bandura, the definition of modeling is the imitation of others' behaviors. Bandura believed that we are not shaped by consequences, but we effectively learn from a model. For an example of this, teachers use this every day in the classroom. We're going to model what we want our students to learn, and then we're going to hope that they can imitate that back to us. So for a demonstration on modeling, I say the teacher shows the children how to wash their hands before lunch. The students can immediately imitate with the correct response. By showing the students exactly how we want things done and in the exact order, students, by looking and watching, will be able to replicate the model. Observational learning. Observational learning consists of 4 phases: the attentional phase, the retention phase, the reproduction phase, and the motivational phase. All these phases play an important part in the observational learning process. During the attentional phase, which is phase 1, most students, or all students, should pay close attention to the model. Students will pay attention to a role models who are people that are interesting, they're popular and attractive, and they're going to be recreating or copying their styles and mannerisms. To gain attention in the classroom, teachers should make the information interactive and understandable for students. By making things exciting and more fun and making students want to learn the information, they're going to be paying close attention to something that the teacher is teaching because it's gathered their attention. And by gathering the attention of students, it makes them want to learn and know what's going on in the subject. So the second phase of the observational learning process is the retention phase, which is phase 2, meaning the teacher will model the behavior and give the students the time to practice and imitate. For example, the teacher will demonstrate to pronounce the letter D, as in dog. The teacher may say, D is for dog. The students will practice the D sound and replicate it back to the teacher. By doing this, students are learning how to retain the information that the teacher has given to them. I know when I was growing up, I did the same thing with my teacher. When she showed me how to do something, I was very eager to learn it and to, put it into perspective. I love to do what others done. So by going back and retaining that information, I was able to know what was going on later on. The reproduction phase. This is the third phase. Students will try to imitate the modeled action. And during this time, this is a good time for us to assess our students to see if what we've been teaching is sticking with them. For an example, after the D sound has been modeled for the students, students will practice and sound and try to reproduce the sound by themselves. So the teacher's going to give them time to work on it. She may put them in small groups, maybe groups of 3 or 4, and let them say the sound to each other. Make sure everybody's is sounding the same. They're going to be able to talk with each other and discuss and see if they can reproduce the action from the model. Motivational phase. This is going to be phase 4, and students imitate the model by being motivated and wanting to increase their chances of reinforcement. During this phase, giving praise and grades for retaining the information is what the student wants. By knowing that you will praise them for paying attention and modeling the task correctly, the students will want to please you. By giving praise to students, it definitely gives them the motivation to want to learn more and do more to please you. Always, when I was younger, I wanted to do the right thing and get the praise from my teacher, knowing that I did it right and I was paying attention and I've done what I was supposed to do in order to conquer the task that was in front of me. Lots of students may need help with that, and that's okay. I mean, we may have to model it 2 or 3 times, but that's fine. As long as we get it and we show them what they need to know and they're able to produce it after 3 or 4 times, I feel like we've done our job by showing the students that we care and that we will do whatever it is to make them learn the task at hand. And vicarious learning. Vicarious learning is what you see and hear from another person's experiences. For example, if you have a few students in the classroom who are being disruptive, you may praise students that are working hard and quietly and are well behaved. In turn, the disruptive student sees the actions of his peers and decides to do work so he can be praised also. No one ever wants to be left out. Everybody wants to be in the know. So if somebody else is doing something, you want to outdo them. That's kids in general. I feel like that as soon as you point out somebody doing their job, somebody who's been acting up or being disruptive, they're definitely going to want to be pleased. They want to please you, and hopefully later on when you notice that they're doing good, you'll see them brighten up and know that, hey, if I do good and I just, do what I'm supposed to do and I don't act up in class, I'm going to get that praise in return. So I feel like students really enjoy being praised and, called upon for doing right. Self-regulated learning. People observe their own behavior and judge it against their own standards and reinforce or punish themselves. So, basically an example of this is that there's 4 students, they're always late, never prepared for class. Well, they were asked to keep a daily journal of their activities every day. The boys would meet every day and they'd coordinate their journals and set goals for themselves. Eventually, they were coming to class on time and bringing their materials and homework to class. Setting them in this situation let these students know that if they'd done everything the same way every day, that they were going to learn how to do it the right way. But it also lets them know that they have to set their own standards. They set the tone for how their day goes. They set the tone for how their class is going to be with them in it. So when these students started changing their ways and keeping up with what they were doing, and started doing this same thing every day, they changed their old ways into new ways, and they were able to make their own standards and reinforce themselves for their new tone that they wanted to take. So by doing this, they were able to start doing things the correct way.